Culture is something that is unique to humans. While animals and primates may have some cultural practices, the complexity of human culture is unparalleled. Culture is not genetically inherited. Rather, it is learned from a very young age through a process called enculturation. To define culture, it is a shared system of knowledge, beliefs, behaviors that is created, learned, shared, and contested by a group of people. Culture is a social phenomenon and cannot come from individuals in isolation. What is so fascinating about culture, it is like an onion, and it can have many layers, meaning there can be subcultures within a culture. To define a subculture, it is different cultural traditions associated with subgroups in the same complex society. There are many examples of subcultures, and in this video, I'll be focusing on college subculture, more commonly known as college life. College subculture began to exist, according to Ross Hanfler in his book Subculture: The Basics, following World War II. He explained, youth culture expanded for many reasons. Expansion in education created a greater space between youth and adult responsibilities, and the growth of film, television, and music industry increased youth exposure to pop culture and alternative ideas. There have always been youth subcultures throughout history. Take, for instance, when adults thought that rock music was the devil music, but to the youth, they all loved rock music. Thus, it can be understood that subcultures come from social circumstances. Before diving into the subculture, I want to explain how research is conducted when studying culture. Ethnography is a systematic study of peoples and cultures. When performing ethnographic fieldwork, a cultural anthropologist will live and interact with the community of people over a period of extended time. As a freshman at the University of Connecticut who has now been attending for almost one semester, I'm the perfect candidate for this research. One important technique in ethnography is participant observation. It represents the starting point in ethnographic research. It involves taking part of community life, and according to Participation Observation, a guide for field workers, interviews are also an important aspect of participant observation. The interviewing that is a part of participant observation is usually informal and more like a casual conversation. The basic rule of thumb for carrying out these interviews is exerting minimal impact on topic flow and conversation, aka I just ask questions and let people speak. I will interview an array of students within the UConn community in order to seek an understanding of UConn's college subculture, as I have an ethnographic commitment to understanding people's perspectives. This need for understanding comes from the fact that subcultures can seem strange and silly. The first topic I decided to ask about were the norms of college rules. I'm here with
Dave.
And he's currently a freshman at the University of Connecticut. So my first question for you are, what are the unwritten rules of behavior on campus?
So I think number one is whenever you're in like a study area, it's generally accepted that you're quiet and letting other students around you get their studying in. When you're at the dining hall, when you're waiting in line to get food, when it's finally your turn, hurry up because we've all been waiting in line as long as everyone else. When we're doing laundry, you need to be timely about like getting your stuff out of the washer or dryer. There's like an unwritten rule of like 5 to 10 minutes, kind of depending on the person. And then your stuff's getting thrown up on top because we all have stuff we have to do. And then I also think like when you're in a lecture, there are some kids who really don't, care, but it's generally expected that, you're quiet and you're paying attention because even if you don't care, the rest of us kind of want to know what's going on. So I think those right there are a couple good norms that we, whether consciously or not, follow when we're here at UConn.
Perfect. Thank you, Dave.
Of course.
I'll still do it anyway.
I'm here with
Tommy.
He's currently a freshman at the University of Connecticut. So my first question for you is, what are the main modes of transportation at the University of Connecticut?
You got walking, you got scooters, of course, you got bicycles, you even got those people on those like motorbikes, and then you got the cars that go 30 miles per hour in a 5 mile per hour zone.
And do you use any of those?
I do use an electric scooter. I formerly used a bike, and formerly it got stolen. So I use it
Oh no.
Yeah, I use an e-scooter now, and yeah.
So why do you choose to use an electric scooter?
As a pseudo student athlete, it's hard getting around on campus on 2 feet. It's just a lot easier with the scooter.
So it makes things go quicker.
Yeah, it does, arguably.
Perfect. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
You're with Emily. She's a current freshman at the University of Connecticut. So my question for you is, what does a typical day look like for you on campus?
So day to day, normally have a lot of 8 a.m. classes. So I get up early, I get ready, I go to my class, and then I go to breakfast with my friends most of the time. Then I go to my other classes, head to lunch, maybe go to the library. then, finish my class for the day. Then I like to go to the gym sometimes with my friends for fun and get some exercise in. Then I do some homework, eat dinner with my friends, and then finish up the homework and then get ready for bed.
So it seems that you guys like to do a lot of activities together. So do you feel that most students will go to the rec together, the library together, and get dinner? Like, it's a very social campus?
Yes, it is very, I think it's a tight-knit community because it's a big campus, but I feel like everyone has their own community and friend groups. So that I do experience that, like hanging out with friends a lot of times, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Here with
Priya.
She's currently a freshman at the University of Connecticut. So my question for you is, how do students communicate with each other?
A lot of the students at UConn tend to use abbreviations when it comes to majors and the specific colleges that they're in, like CLAS. And we also have certain platforms like Yik Yak, which we use as our own personal form of social media.
Thank you. I'm here with
Hope.
She's currently a freshman at the University of Connecticut. Hope, what are some core value and beliefs that are important to students here at UConn?
I would say a core value that is super important to students here at UConn is the Student Today, Husky Forever mantra. At any event at Gamble Stadium, the alumni are there showing unwavering support for the UConn Huskies, and to be a UConn Husky is to have the utmost school spirit.
Thank you. As I conclude my interviews, I want to note that there has been research that has shown that there are limitations when it comes to utilizing participant observation for data collection. Certain researchers that use this method may indirectly have an impact on their access to information, either due to their social status, gender, and settings. For instance, I am a student in the honors program, so I may have accurately shown what the college subculture is like for honors students, but not what it is like for students in a learning community or students that come from foreign countries. However, having lived at the University of Connecticut for the past 3 months, observing daily life, and participating in ethnography and participant observation, I can confidently conclude that while the University of Connecticut is a big school, there is a tight-knit community. It is a very social campus and it has a lot of school spirit. Additionally, they have their own vernacular and social norms which add to the solid subculture. If there's anything you can take out of this video, it is that college subculture arises from the social circumstance that is students living together. College is very unique in the sense that a lot of young people are living together in a small concentrated area for 4 years while they learn and grow as people.